You're watching Wall Street Confidential with Jim Cramer. I'm Farnoosh Torabi. Jim, we were talking about a lot of stocks right now that are worth getting into. You call them quote unquote cheap.
Right.
Disney. Now, I'm curious about Disney. They got a downgrade to sell, which makes you think, why should I be caring about this stock?
I'll tell you what's interesting is I've gone over that piece with a fine-tooth comb and matched it against what the CFO extraordinarily during the quiet period came out of Disney and basically refuted it. The Disney piece is predicated upon the idea that you could gauge how they're going to do by room rate. Mm-hmm. And this is a man that has been up and down between $1.87 and $2.05 in his earnings for a year now. He had come in with a $2.05 number that had been revised up from the $1.80 and change level after the November quarter was reported. And now he's anticipating that next week Disney's going to disappoint and took his number back to $1.96, which is basically still up year over year. I always like to see what the estimates are because then I know the direction of the stock. And this man is saying that because of the fact that room rates are being footballed or discounted, it's pretty clear that Disney's having a bad quarter attendance-wise, so therefore cut it. And given the fact that there's a writer's strike, there's a lot of reasons to be worried. Normally, I wrote yesterday that I was concerned. And I was concerned because McDonald's, everyone, I think, had been pretty aware on Wall Street, who is a big trigger puller, McDonald's, that McDonald's domestic sales were going to be weak. We had seen models that were similar to domestic in December week. And the stock went from 63 to 54 on that. And then when it actually showed that December was weak, it went to 50. So I got a little gun-shy last night when I saw this Disney report and went through his room analysis. Now, I'm beginning to believe that Disney, which was not credited with any sophisticated room move around, may have actually, I think this guy tried to book rooms, and what happened is that he got sent to the lowest possible deal, which is not necessarily indicative of what Disney's going to be doing this quarter. If you call and you just ask for room or you don't ask for the cheapest room, whatever, I think you'd find that they have a sophisticated program that routes you to certain rooms, and you cannot base a model on what he did. Now, if you cannot base a model on what he did, now you got to go back and say, okay, well, how about this? $1.96, let's use his number. It's $1.96 for 2008 fiscal. The fiscal is a September year. You begin to see that at that price, you're paying under 15 times earnings for one of the best managed companies in the world that conceivably, again, if the Fed cuts rates, as we know, year over year is going to be really excellent. So maybe this guy created a tremendous buying opportunity in Disney. Disney was in the 34, 36 range. It's come down a lot because of full-blown recession fears and gasoline prices. I think that this piece was a misstatement. I also think that if he liked the stock at $1.87 last year, and now he's using $1.96, he shouldn't dislike it. I think what he's really doing is looking at the stock price. This is what happens to a lot of analysts. He's looking at the stock price, and he's trying to find a reason why it went down and why to get off the horse. And it would have been a lot better if he had a sell in the mid-30s and a buy here, but he couldn't do that because that isn't what his model showed. But to me, the Disney research is clearly flawed that he did. And you got to buy Disney, and maybe you put half the position on now, and then you wait to see what they report. But I bet you that with the level of conviction that the CFO came out yesterday, I'd be hard-pressed to think it's not going to be a good quarter. Rich Greenfield, also from Pali Securities, PALI, has an interesting report that also refutes this fellow's work.
PALI. Thank you so much, Jim Cramer.
Yeah.
It's a lot on Disney. Make sure you follow up with the earnings report, which is coming out
next
soon.
Week.
This is Wall Street Confidential. Thanks to Jim Cramer. I'm Farnoosh Torabi. Don't go away.